What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jayana, a licensed esthetician in Georgia and also a professional makeup artist. So today we have my client here, Tamaya. This is her bridal trial consultation. So basically what we're doing is giving her a preview of the look that she imagined for her day, and it will make some fixes once the wedding day comes. So the first thing that I do is prep her skin using some hyaluronic acid, the Embroylisse cream. I cleanse and tone the face with micellar water and rose water. Now what I'm doing with the brows is molding down the brows using some Got To Be gel. And now what I'm doing is just doing some matching of the foundation. So one thing you want to ask your bridal clients is basically what type of dress are they wearing? What will be exposed? Which skin is going to be showing? So she's wearing a strapless dress. And with that strapless dress, she's going to reveal her chest. So I wanted to match the foundation to her chest. So the color that I ended up choosing was the soft Glam satin foundation from e.l.f. in the shade 53 Deep Neutral. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes. So what I'm doing here is just prepping the eyes using some concealers. And then what I'm gonna do after blending those concealers out is set those using some setting powder. The reason why I do that is because I don't want the concealers to move, and it does help with keeping that soft look. So Tamaya wanted a soft, glam, yet mattifying look, but she didn't want to look too bold or too dramatic. You know, look like herself, but just a little bit more elevated. So what I always do when someone says that is just use the bronzer shade as their shadow. So the bronzer that I chose today was Juvia's Place. Of course, y'all know that's my fave. Juvia's Place's bronzer, it is their bronze duo, and I have it in the shade dark. So I just took those two shades and put it all on her lid, blended it up towards the brow, and now I'm taking that darker shade just to deepen up the inner corner, or the crease, sorry, of her eyes, just to give a little bit more dimension. So now what I'm doing is using some primer. So this is a Smashbox primer from Smashbox. It is their mattifying primer that also contains salicylic acid in it. And it definitely did mattify her, because one thing she did not want to look like is shiny and oil. So I also pulled out a little trick and went ahead and set that primer. Now this also is going to keep you mattified and make sure that no oil seep through. Also, that Smashbox primer is really good. It worked immediately. You just give it a little bit of time to dry before you put the powder on. Now for the foundation, again using soft glam satin foundation from e.l.f. and I am just tapping all that in using a sponge. I'm using a damp sponge, by the way. A sponge is really like my best friend when it comes to doing client makeup. It's very multi-usage. I can do pretty much I can do the whole look with a sponge if need be, and I just love the skin like finish that a sponge gives. Now will I use a brush? Absolutely, but I just like the way the sponge makes the skin look like skin, especially if a client is requesting that. So now on to concealer. So the concealers I chose today were the Camo concealer in the shade Deep Chestnut, and this is it's Revolution's concealer, but I really forgot the name. I think it says super concealer on the container, but all products will be in the description box. But I am using those concealers. Now, one thing that I am gonna not do when it comes to our wedding day is possibly use the Camo concealer. I love the Camo concealer from e.l.f. I have been using it for such a long time. The coverage is beautiful, but I always forget how fast it dries. Now, although she wanted to look mattifying, her eyes still, I feel your eyes still need hydration. That's why I like using hydrating concealers, and mainly depend more on using my powders instead of using other liquid or cream products to give you that mattifying look. So with me saying that, the concealer dried up a little bit fast than I expected, but if I do use this concealer again, I'll just make sure to do one eye at a time. And it was kind of getting caught up in the lines and crease in her eyes, so we used a sponge to fix it, and then I also did a little rolling motion right there just to make sure I got it blended. But if it happens to you, probably switch to a small eyeshadow brush to really get into those lines of the eyes, because the sponge is kind of a little big and you don't want to poke your client in the face or in the eye. So now what I'm doing is some cream bronzing using the shade set from Juvia's Place in the shade Katsina. Juvia's Place had a great sale yesterday. I don't know if it's still going on today, but please go check that out, because I know I bought me some stuff and the price of what I paid was awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. So again, bronzing using a stippling brush that I got off Amazon, and now we're doing some cream or liquid blush. This is also from Juvia's Place. It is in the shade what shade is it? Coral Rose. Stuttered right there. But I used a brush and a sponge just to make sure no lines were noticeable and make sure that everything was blended in together. So the powder I'm using today is the Laura Mercier powder. It's the translucent powder. I love Laura Mercier's powder. I think it looks beautiful on all skin types, and it just melts right into the skin. It may look a little crazy, and I always say this when I use it. It may look a little crazy when you first use it, but you go in with some Morphe setting mist, or just find you a good setting mist to really lock the powder and liquid in. You'll see how melted it is into your skin. So now I'm doing some bronzing, using the same bronzer I use on our eyes, and that's from Juvia's Place. And we are just setting that shade stick that I use, and we're just blending it all together. One thing I am going to purchase of in the future or before her wedding is get some pressed powders, really, so I can set the entire face, because I was using bronzer in another shade to set her face and it worked, but I want to get pressed powders. So now for blush, I'm using the volume number 1 Juvia's Place blush, using Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. You see how it just locked in everything and it melted into the skin? That's what I want. So now I'm moving on to brows. I'm using Morphe's pencil and ColourPop's pencil. The Morphe pencil matched her brows perfectly. I was really shocked. And then the ColourPop pencil helped me create that precision that I needed to fill in any sparse areas, especially in the front of the brow. And then I'm going back and forth with my spoolie, my disposable spoolie, just to make sure that all the products are blended in and nothing just looks too harsh. She said she had her makeup done like back in 2021 for like prom, and everything was too bold and too dramatic. So this is really why I like doing the brows last. It gives a very natural look. Now I'm popping on some lashes. She's never worn lashes before, so she definitely had to get used to that. And I think I'll probably go for a little bit smaller ones when the wedding comes. Popping on some lips. So for lips, I did the cream stick from Juvia's Place. And then I used Trendsetter from Morphe, their lip liner. And then for gloss, it was some discontinued gloss that Juvia's Place had. But y'all, like I said, go catch Juvia's Place's sale. You can get you some lip glosses. And we locked all that in using Revolution Super Fix Spray. And this was her reaction. And she really did seem to like it. She was shocked at how she looked. And I'm very happy that she liked it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and give this video a big thumbs up. And I'll see y'all in my next one.